As far as home field advantages go in the playoffs, there are few places tougher on a visiting team than this one. Sold out Empower Field at Mile High in Denver. Straight ahead, it's a clash to decide the AFC's representative in the Super Bowl. And it'll be a great one between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Denver Broncos. The winner gets a trip to sunny Arizona for Super Bowl 57. The AFC title game is underway. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. First carry for Austin Eckler, who's a Colorado native. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Nowhere to go for Herbert, and he's going to go down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Herbert. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Johnston. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They give him 27 yards on the 3rd down conversion. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 42-yard line. Out of the gun, Herbert. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Baron Browning coming in from that outside linebacker spot. He gets him down. It's a loss of 5. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Herbert now. And he'll go right back to Allen. That's complete. And he is going to have the Chargers' first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chains, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, and sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
That one will go for 9 yards and a first down on the keeper. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. The impressive opening drive continues, and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. Baron Browning able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Hopkins' kick is good. Not a touchdown, obviously, but playoffs, you're on the road. At least you put something on the board.
I would agree with that totally. You're not exactly sending a message to the opposition, but you are letting them know that you came to play.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos at their own 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Gibson. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
On 2nd and a yard, Wilson. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. A couple of veterans, Wilson to Sutton there for the Bronco first.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okwuegbunam. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 29-yard line. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. On the counter, Gibson. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Throwing is Wilson. Back to Gibson and another catch for him. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 14. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
2nd and 6 from the 10. Gets this into the hands of Samaje Perine. Touchdown! Samaje Perine from 10 yards out. And the Broncos have taken the lead here in this AFC title game. Rodrigo Blankenship now for the PAT. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Charger drive about to get going. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key for it.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
They'll try the left side with Gibson. And able to get this to the 31.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. I've worked with you long enough now to know you like that decision. Go safe, pressure coming, hit your guy underneath.
It's an excellent decision, but he knew it came with consequences, and that's him getting hit on the play, but able to dump it to his running back and gain some yardage. I liked everything about it, especially his ability to stay in the pocket and execute.
He'll get that complete to Alberto. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
Gibson here running out of the gun. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Facing a 2nd and 3, ball on the 10. They'll go again with Gibson. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
Touchdown, Broncos! Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes, and they are able to add on to their advantage. CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better, and I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Looking to throw again on second down. Herbert. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, this is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Herbert. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
On is the punter Scott here as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Denver offense at the line ready to go. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3. Because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 46 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
On 1st down, Wilson. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And some room to work. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. He completes this to Sutton. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. Pass complete to Judy on the out route. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Here's Wilson. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Broncos continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
He dumps it to Eckler underneath. And they're able to get this one across the 35. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Of course, he's fresh off the Offensive Player of the Week in the AFC, and what a game it was last week, and a long touchdown run right there.
He and his offensive line, the receivers blocking downfield, they're all in sync right now. Could carry him to a second straight Player of the Week award.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Over the middle, complete. That's Johnston. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Broncos going dime. 2 extra defensive backs for third down.
Playing pass all the way.
Back to throw here, Herbert. And that is incomplete.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big third down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. And returning it, here's Hamler. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 23 yards on the play.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays.
Touchdown! Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Broncos are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Charger drive about to get going. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. So we are halfway home to figuring out who will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. One more half to decide who takes home the Lamar Hunt Trophy as we're back underway in this AFC Championship. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And I think here with the lead, CD, they have to resist that temptation of kind of looking ahead. Would you agree?
Absolutely, I would agree, because they know the stakes. They know the winner of this game goes to the Super Bowl. And this one, it's far from over. They were the better team in the first half, but they do know that they're facing their toughest opponent of the year. And they've got to be prepared for them to fight it out all the way and add a few extra wrinkles in the second half as well. They need to stay on guard.
Yeah, he'll fight for a couple as the tackle is made at about the 32. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Well, that'll help the old passing stats. Remember, it was a pop pass, so it's not a wide receiver run there, Charles.
Well, I like the way that you scored it, and that's exactly how it goes into the books. But remember, he's had success throwing the ball the standard way in this game. And here, this little tap pass, it goes for good yardage, a little something extra in his repertoire.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Once more, Gibson. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, here's Gibson. And he is going to lose yardage here. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Here's Brett Kern now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the 3rd. Returnable here for Davis. So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
AFC Championship tilt, third quarter of play. This is 2nd and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And that is incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now. But he was fortunate on that one, not to have another turnover on his ledger.
They snap it to Herbert. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback. But maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
And they'll be stopped right at the 30. On a play that started back at the 15, they pick up 15.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets him up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Gibson again. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
But really, that was no surprise there. They've been running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
One quarter remains until we crown the AFC champion. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Straight ahead, Gibson. And they're able to stop him short. On 3rd and 6, they'll only pick up 4. Out there is Rodrigo Blankenship in the field goal unit. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. Blankenship's kick is good. So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And their dream of a Super Bowl berth so close 3 quarters ago, but obviously starting to slip away if it hasn't already. They need points here and in a hurry. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Here's Herbert. They'll find Williams on the slant. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Second catch of this AFC title game, but he's got a first down. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now it's Herbert. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. That one good for 37 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Herbert. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Tally, that is catch number 1 for him in this AFC Championship. It's a first down. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Justin Herbert keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Chargers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Oh, and it's no good. He tugged it wide left, and that will keep our score right where it is. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are getting closer and closer to lifting that Lamar Hunt trophy. Not home just yet, but trying to polish things off here as they start 1st and 10. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. A give up the middle to Gibson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on third down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on third down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be second in a couple.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. This is swung out to Eckler. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield, and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
Throw left side is hauled in by Palmer. And he is going to have the Chargers first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Herbert throwing again. Working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Herbert. It's Williams on the catch. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And the Broncos are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line. The win for the Broncos, seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. And all that hard work has paid off. They're AFC champions, and on to the Super Bowl they go.
It's got to be an amazing feeling for